Connecting with others is such a crucial part of how our civilization works, especially in the workforce. Suzanne Levine is joining us today to talk about how we can connect with others, what groups to join, and what employers can do to keep their employees. Thank you so much for joining us again, Suzanne.
Thank you for having me. Hope you're having a good week so far.
So far, so good. I hope you as well.
Yes, other than the storms, absolutely, and power outages, but it
Ugh,
is Michigan after all.
yep, can't catch a break with all that. So,
No,
what would you say is the biggest thing a business should be doing to connect with potential employers?
I think one of the things that they should be doing is making sure that they do whatever they can to kind of instill this team spirit. We know that if you have employees that are unhappy, we know that whole quiet quitting trend. But I think the other problem that managers and employers have is not giving credit where credit is due. You're not going to instill a team spirit or get your employees to want to give 100% if you're constantly telling them that they're not doing a good job, or pointing out all their flaws. There are ways to do some team building and making sure that they get the credit they deserve. While on the other hand, I know that, perhaps there is an employee that is slacking off. And how do you get them to want to give 100%, finding out what their issues are, playing to their strengths? Sometimes we know that employees, kind of fight for credit. They want, the bosses to recognize them, but it's also on the bosses and the managers to make sure that they recognize when an employee does above and beyond. It's not just their job that they're doing, they're really trying to make an effort. As a customer, it's really important not just to criticize, but make sure that a manager knows when an employee, whether it's in a restaurant or in a store, has gone above and beyond, and making sure that they notice this. But what do they say? They say people don't quit a job, they quit a boss. And especially today, when there's competition for employees, I think it's really important that managers have some training too, not just employees, on how to be a good manager. I just heard about a large company where there was like wholesale opting for, you know, getting out of their, getting bonus packages and leaving because of a very bad manager. So this is a trend. And I think the olden days, it was called the Halden method, of where they took a resident in a surgical program and just beat them to death. They would have like 80-hour days and no sleep, hoping to create a good surgeon. That doesn't even make any sense. How can you make good decisions if you're being screamed at, yelled at, and you get no sleep? So, certainly today with all this competition, it is really important that managers understand what it takes to build teamwork, and also for people that have a job that enjoy it, how to work with their teammates, playing to their strengths, and instead of saying I can't do something, saying, I will try, changing your verbiage so it doesn't seem like you're always negative.
Definitely. So, if I was looking for a place to work or a business to invest in, how would I look for a group that might be the most beneficial for me?
I think it's important that you ask questions in the interview, not just the employer asking you the questions, but you also asking, what do you do to, make employees feel welcome? What do you do if you can't pay them as far as either bonuses or perks? Maybe it's an extra day off. Maybe it's, 50% off merchandise. Maybe it's a free meal. Maybe it's having their family come there. So there's different ways that employers can show employees that they appreciate them. And on the other hand, there's other ways that employees can show that they're happy in their jobs and how they can go, above and beyond. So it's teamwork. And really, what do they say? There isn't an I in teamwork. We need to work together, but I can't impress on employers enough that when you scream and yell and point out to your employees all the things they're doing right, you're not going to get 100% out of them. The employees are going to take advantage one way or the other. And if nothing else, they're going to quit. And so having to retrain employees for a job is very it costs a job, a business a lot of money. to keep having to retrain people for the same job. So a manager should look at themselves and say, why are people leaving? What am I doing to foster this kind of environment?
Yeah. So, is in your position in the Chamber of Commerce, what different types of groups have you seen in these different businesses?
Well, I think, the most successful businesses is where people feel welcome when they walk in the door. And so I try to strategize with them. Um, I think we talked a little bit about people now, employers have to look outside of the traditional employee pool, looking to some of the seniors that want to work, that maybe they're retired, but they just want to, they're bored. So maybe they only want to work two days a week. And they're great employees because they don't need the health benefits. They don't need the 401k benefits. They're just happy to be out there. And they can also mentor younger employees about, how to be loyal, how to take criticism, and how to speak up when they feel that they're being mistreated without, giving the business a bad name. Um, and I know that even within our chamber, we have all kinds of specialty groups. We have our WIN, our Women's Inspiration Network. So this is where women can get together, and not only get a great speaker who can talk about leadership or how to sustain employees, but also talk about some of the issues that they have found in the workplace, where I know that women are starting to find their voice, especially women of color. So, I think it's important for, all these different businesses to address the diversity and to address the different cultures and make sure that their employees are happy, because one bad employee interaction with a customer can destroy your business. We know word of mouth and social media can definitely do a lot of damage and undo all the hundreds of thousands of dollars you're spending on advertising.
Definitely. So, what is the best advice you have for young people? Maybe they're getting their first job, maybe they're 15, 16. What would the best advice be for them to start off?
Well, just try to go in with a positive attitude, because you never know who you might meet that can potentially connect you to another job. Um, I think, thinking that you're entitled to have, the top job with the top money and top benefits, is really a bad attitude. And I think we need to change the young generation's expectations. Not everyone's going to be a rap star. Not everyone's going to be an influencer. Not everyone's going to be making millions of dollars. So we need to really change their expectations and tell them that hard work never replaces, any kind of success story. Even the people that are successful. I was listening to Tyler Perry this morning on a morning show, and all the hard work he's done to get where he's been at. And of course, he's very uplifting. He's always trying to promote new talent. And I think that's important, from an employer standpoint too, is to encourage employees to be the best they can. And if it means that they're going to move on to another job, that's great. But in the meantime, try to make the best of your situation and try to work as well as you can with your teammates and not try to take credit for everything.
Right. Well, unfortunately, time is running out today. I feel like it always goes by so fast when we're talking, but I just want to thank you so much, Suzanne, for your time today. As always, it's great to have you. I hope you have a wonderful day.
You too, and thank you for the opportunity, affording our chamber to get our word out about how to help businesses.
Of course. Thank you.